Hello and welcome to the MMA Coaches Corner, brought to you by the Scott Sports Cast. I am the fighter,
I'm the coach.
and together we are the MMA Coaches Corner. I'm Alex, and today we're going to be going over UFC 263, our predictions and our breakdown on what's going to happen tomorrow night whenever the lights come on, cage door closes, and it's time to go. Should be a great card. We got a lot of good fights lined up. How you feeling about it?
Pretty excited for this card. It's been a while since we've had a quality card. So, I mean, the cards have been good, but they haven't really had too much star power. We finally get one of those cards, so it's exciting to see these guys get back to work.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Well, let's go ahead and get right on into it. We got our first fight, Jamal Hill taking on Paul the Bear Jew Craig. And what should actually be a pretty decent fight, you would imagine. So this one, you got your typical striker in Hill going against your want to take you down and choke you out in the Bear Jew. So Bear Jew's been on a tear. He just took out Shogun with the TKO. Got a submission and a decision his last two wins. So, he's on fire. You got to be able to stop this guy's grappling. As soon as he grabs your leg, it's not as good as Khabib, but it's Khabib-like. It's similar style, so it's tough to defend someone that's just going to maul you in the grappling game. But Jamal Sweet Dreams Hill, now this guy got some dynamite in his hands, man. They're just ship anchors on both hands. And as soon as he touches you, man, it hurts and your legs feel it. It's your typical striker versus your grappler. But at the end of the day, Jamal doesn't have the ground game to keep up with Bear Jew. Bear Jew's going to grab him, take him down, and choke him out. So I'm going to have to take Bear Jew by submission on this one. What do you think?
Yeah, I gotta take Paul Craig by submission here. I think it'll be pretty equal on the feet. I don't feel like either man has a huge advantage. I think obviously you give the power to Sweet Dreams, but I don't think there's too much of a technical gap because he was, Paul Craig was able to hang with, one of the greats in Shogun.
Why?
So he can hold his own. So I'm not too worried there, but I am worried about Hill's ground game. A little suspect, haven't seen too much of it. And Craig has the submissions and he's got the grappling strength. It's one thing to be a good grappler, it's another to have that strength where you can just hold somebody down and they can't really do much about it. This is a different kind of grappling. So I gotta take Paul Craig by submission here.
Like a wet blanket and just all over you. Can't get
But
it
I
off.
think it'll be pretty even on the feet. Like I think it'll be a good striking match up until the point that Paul Craig wants to get it to the ground.
Well, I still feel Jamal will have definite advantage in the striking. I mean, that's this guy's bread and butter. So you got to take him out of his element and really put the pressure on him and really see how is he off of his back. Is he going to pull a Greg Hardy and just lay there? Or how good's his ground game? Let's find out because this fight's going to the ground, guaranteed. Granted, Hill doesn't come out and just knock him out with the first punch, because
Greg
that
Hardy
happens.
Heavy bag.
Yeah, there's been way too many one-punch knockouts in the history of UFC to say that's not a possibility. Ben Askren, one of the
Yeah,
latest victims.
right.
Uh, Masvidal, not Jake Paul. Okay, calm down. But okay, so we're both going Bear Jew by submission on this one.
Yes, sir.
All right. Our next fight we have is not sure how I feel about this fight really, but that's okay. I don't have to feel. I think I know. But it's gonna be Bill Muhammad going and taking on Damian Maya, Steven Vet. So Bill Muhammad, what he does is he likes to mix his striking into his grappling, take you down and control you on the ground. Um, put you in dominant ground and pound position. His striking's okay. I wouldn't say it's great, but then on the other side you got Damian Maya, the seasoned vet. All right, this guy was on the terror, knocked off a bunch of people all the way up until the Tyron Woodley fight. Then it was like Carlos Condit, Tyron Woodley, and another really good guy that he lost to. And those were all decisions for the most part. So then he goes and now he's on another win streak. It's like, okay, Damian Maya, at the age of 43, you still got it. You still got it, man.
Young man.
And go west, young man. And I think Damian Maya, if this fight goes the way that I believe it's going to go, and it's going to go that way, let's be real, because this is Muhammad's style. Is he wants to get it to the ground, and that's the last place you want to be with Damian Maya, boy. And maybe he'll survive the first round, maybe, you know, but you play on the ground long enough with Damian Maya, he's gonna put you down. He's gonna put you out, or he's gonna bend something the way it's not supposed to bend. So I think I'm gonna have to take Damian Maya by submission here.
Do I feel good picking a 43-year-old to get a submission victory? No, but I'm gonna do it because, like you said, it's just their styles. Their styles are to be dominant grapplers. Damian Maya is a stud off of his back. Like, I just don't see it going well for I don't know. I just see Damian Maya controlling this one, using that jab, just kind of sticking around there, scoring some points on the feet, but then gets it to the ground. Whether he pulls guard or whatever he does, he'll get it to the ground at all costs, and then he'll out grapple his opponent.
Yep.
So I mean, it's worked this long.
His
So I,
nickname
I
should have
think
been the
it
Kraken.
worked. I think it works one more time. Then we're gonna start seeing some decline out of Damian Maya.
Yeah, but Father Time hasn't got him just yet.
Yeah,
So
I
let's
think he's
see it
got one
one
more
more
trip in
time.
him.
Maybe two, but let's not push it.
He's gonna pull that ace out.
Yeah, I think so.
He's gonna get
It's
it
gonna be
done.
a good one. Okay, so both going Damian Maya over Muhammad. All right.
By submission too. He finishes this fight.
Oh, he was the guy who had the illegal eye poke, or
Yeah.
the end of the fight against Leon Edwards. That, yeah, and I don't think he looked very good in that fight. So, who really looks that good against Leon Edwards? That guy's on an 8-fight win streak. And speaking of our next fight, Leon Edwards taking on the boy from up the street in Stockton, Nate Diaz. He has returned. It's been a long time since we saw Nate Diaz fight. But let's be real. It's been a long time since we've seen Leon Edwards fight too. So I expect a bit of, ring rust on both these guys. Just a little bit, but we all know Nate Diaz loves to push the pressure, put it ground, standing against the cage, toe to toe in the center. This guy's gonna fight you tooth and nail till the last buzzer rings. Not a lot of guys have been able to put Diaz away. Diaz has fought a lot of guys. He's truly a seasoned vet in the sport now. And so it's going to be interesting to see how he looks coming back after, a long hiatus. But Leon Edwards, man, that guy has dynamite in his hands, technical striking, utilizes his kicks well. And, if it goes to the ground, he's no slouch there either. I feel this fight, Leon's going to want to keep it standing. But Nate Diaz could easily win the standing. And then you have Leon who could easily win the standing. Or it could be nice and even, This is going to be an interesting one. Who's going to start getting off first? Who's going to be a little more hesitant after, coming back and being under the spotlight after, like over a year?
And you know what's crazy is that they're both kind of slow starters. It takes a while for the fight to come to them. So who's going to get off first? That's going to be a huge advantage. Like, who's going to find their range? And I think Leon Edwards is going to find that range first. And I just feel he has the crisper punches. He's got more power. He's kind of hitting his prime, or he's kind of there at his prime, while Diaz is kind of on the decline.
Yep.
I feel that time's kind of caught up. All those wars Nate Diaz has been in. Like, as much as you want to root for the guy, you just can't put your money on him right now. He's gotta get back in the win column before you can do that. So I'm taking Leon Edwards here by a decision. I think it'll be fight of the night, though. I think
Our
they're gonna
first, our first ever third
because
fight. That's a 5-round fight. They're going 5 rounds this fight,
they're
and
going
they're not.
5 rounds. Damn,
They're not even the co-main event.
that's crazy.
But they
But
said let's do 5, and so we're getting 5, man.
that's crazy. But I didn't know that. But man,
Yep.
because Leon Edwards, he's got good wrestling, so he can kind of control where the ground game takes place, but he
But
can
Leon got good takedown defense.
survive some submission attempts, and too, like, he's got good defense on the ground. He's not a slouch, and you know, he's got a lot of tools that I feel are a little bit better than Nate Diaz's. And Nate Diaz is,
Mhm.
a little long in the tooth, let's be real,
Yeah.
and took a lot of damage in a lot of fights, especially in his last fight against Masvidal. So I'm taking Leon Edwards here to get that decision, but it'll be a scrap.
Yeah. It will. Nate Diaz turns any fight into a fight. Doesn't matter who he's against. But
Yeah,
yeah, like you said, it's not so much just that he's getting long in the tooth. It's more that Leon's hitting his prime. And so it, when one guy's trending up and one guy, is just, you know, hanging around at this point because he couldn't beat the top guys. Um, it's just one of those guys that's kind of not so much on his way out, but definitely working his way down instead of up. So as much as I love Nate Diaz, I got to go against him and pick Leon Edwards here. I really hope it's a decision, but I could see if this fight was finished, it would be a TKO for Leon. But I want to see Nate Diaz, if this fight goes to the ground, I want to see him use that jujitsu that he has, and it's so good. Just use it, That's all you got to do, and you'll be all right. You're one of the best guys off your back. Let's go back to some vintage Nate Diaz and start working off your back instead of just trying to get back to your feet.
Gracie Jiu-Jitsu.
Yep. So I got to go with Leon Edwards on this one. All right. So that brings us to our co-main event. That is also
Ooh.
5 rounds. It is also a title fight.
Every fight on
It
this
is,
card is 5 rounds.
and it is also a rematch.
Hey, next we're gonna have 5-round prelims.
5 round prelims. Yep, all the way through.
What are you doing, Dana?
Better get paid like a 5 round fight.
For real.
But okay, so our first title fight is a rematch at the flyweight division. That is going to be a highly anticipated Davison Figueroa going against Alex Morano. And ooh, wee, this is going to be a good fight if it was anything like the last one. So you know, catch everybody up. The last fight, Figueroa spent the night before and up 3 hours before the fight in the hospital because he wasn't feeling well. Went out there and put on like almost the fight of the year.
According to
Made,
Moreno, those are just excuses.
yep, just excuses. And so they went back and forth. They tagged each other. They hurt each other. They matched each other on the ground, matched each other on the feet. It was a great fight. I want to see if Moreno can relive that magic. And why wouldn't you feel like you could win this fight after you lost a split decision that you felt like you won?
It wasn't
Why
wasn't
don't
it a
you feel
draw?
it was not a draw? Was it a draw? Oh, wasn't there a point taken away?
Yeah,
Yeah, Davison had a point taken away, and so it was a draw, majority draw, right?
I believe
So
so.
yeah, so run it back, man. I want to see that go 10 rounds. And we're probably gonna get to. Oh, I don't know if this fight's gonna get finished. These guys are just too tough to put away. I mean, they would have done it last time if they were gonna do it. I feel like so because they both caught each other clean, and both of them survived and answered
Yeah,
time and time again.
last time we predicted this fight, we both thought Figueroa was gonna win by murder, but Moreno showed that he ain't gonna go away. So, I give him a lot of respect for standing in there toe to toe for 5 rounds with the champ. And, almost could have won that fight. So I'm interested to see what he does this time. But I think Figueroa, he's just, a little bit more powerful, gonna put that hurt on him a little bit more this fight. I feel like he's really gonna feel those punches. But what Figueroa did, something that I don't like, he he pushed his opponent at the weigh-in. He never touch your opponent before the fight. It's bad juju. Don't do that. And he did that. So because of that, I gotta take Moreno to win this fight by decision. I would love
Oh,
to see a Figueroa knockout. Don't get it wrong, but I just, because he has a bad juju, I got to put my money on the other guy.
I mean, the thing that makes Moreno a handful for Figueroa is the fact that he can match him with speed. Not a lot
Yeah.
of guys in the division can match his speed.
Well, and Moreno throws combinations. He doesn't just throw one punch. He's
Exactly.
coming at you.
He's a very technical striker. And he's very well rounded. On the ground, we saw him. He survived, not just survived, but also flourished at times on the ground against Figueroa. So, uh, and Figueroa, legit black belt, Brazilian Jiu Jitsu. Look at his ears.
I know.
It's worse than mine.
For real. He's got
But
two of them.
yeah, he's got two. Damn, I gotta catch up. Where's the hammer?
For real. Is that
That's
dude
that's
just
gonna
take
that's gonna
everything?
take years. That's going to take years of grappling at a high level to get those years back. So, oh man, it could be, but Moreno got some legit striking, and he could catch you too, and you know, at least get you for a TKO. So Figueroado's still got to be careful. Oh, dude, and he's got Mexico in the palm of his hand right now. For all of his people back home, like he wins, oh, he's an instant celebrity.
Yeah.
And so it's you know, everybody there is hype. And why wouldn't you be? Boys fighting for the title. Let's go. I I I hope Moreno can do it because I want to see him every time he stepped in, he's looked better and better and better. And so let's see him take that one more step this fight and win that title. But I think I'm gonna have to go with Davison Figueroa retaining his belt by split
Ooh.
decision again.
Oh, heartbreaker.
Got to do it. Got
Let's go.
I feel
I can
it's
see it.
gonna be a good fight. I
The
feel
judges.
it's gonna be clearly Figueroa, but you know, one or two of the judges kind of give Moreno one of the rounds, you know. So yeah, I think Figueroa is gonna win a split decision.
I can see it. I can
Yeah,
see a lot
so
of different outcomes for this fight.
yeah, yeah. There's so much that could happen. Could get caught in a guillotine on a takedown early. You know, you could get you know, swept to your back into a mount, catch an elbow in the clinch. You know, anything could happen. It's fighting, baby. You got to be prepared for everything. It's not
Everything. Protect
everything
yourself at all times.
to the best of your ability because it's tough. But all right, so that brings us to our main event then. Our main event, a title fight, a 5-round fight, a rematch. Sound familiar?
You're not going to believe this. Another 5-round fight.
Like a Matryoshka doll. Just keeps coming. This again.
You're not going to believe this. Another one.
It's and I hope all of these go 5 rounds. By the way, I want this to be like the longest fight card ever.
I want to go to bed at 1 p.m.
I want them to regret the fact that they made 3 5-round fights. So it's the champion, Israel Adesanya, the last style bender, taking on Melvin the Vittori. What's his nickname? He's
The
not Baby
Italian
Assassin.
Dream.
Italian Dream, yeah. Oh man, if it was anything like the first fight, it was a pretty good fight. First round, you know, until Izzy started getting his range, figuring it out. It was a good fight. They were going back and forth, landing, you know, Vittori was coming forward, putting some pressure. Second round, it was all Adesanya. He was just picking him apart. Just landed big bombs, great inside leg kicks, tearing up that calf, and just going to work. Third round, all Izzy again until Vittori gets a takedown. And when Vittori gets the takedown, we saw what we saw against Blodowicz. And it was Adesanya out of his element, having to work even harder than he usually has to get out of that ground game. So problem is that yeah, I'm sure since that fight, Vittori's gotten better. And so has Adesanya. Even though he lost his last fight, he's still gotten just way better. So it's going to be a tough one for Vittori. And I don't think this fight's going to go the same way. I think it's going to go exactly the same way. So I think it's going to go to a T what happened. And it's going to be
5 rounds.
just 5 rounds. I see Vittori winning maybe 2 rounds due to grappling. But it's going to be tough for Vettori to get that takedown because the reason why he got the takedown so late in the last fight was because it's hard to take him down. It's plain and simple. He's got some really good takedown defense, and he uses his range and his length very well in the striking to keep you at bay, so you can't just come in and take a shot on him. You know, if you can't land a low kick on him, what makes you think you're going to go in for a double leg? You're just going to catch a knee at that point. And so I don't know if Adesanya's going to put him away, though. I just don't know if he's going to put him away this fight. I feel there'll be times where he has the opportunity. But I feel that Vettori got power in his hands. His striking's not that bad. It's just not on Adesanya's level.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. The thing about Vettori is he fought a lot of guys that just kind of stood right in front of him. And whenever he does that, man, he's world class. He can pick you apart like crazy. But whenever you got a guy that moves like Adesanya, nah, you can't pick that apart.
Yeah, it's like trying
his
to fight and
striking's
solve
not
a
there.
Rubik's Cube at the same time.
Now his striking could get there, but it's not there yet. Not to hang with Adesanya on the feet. So he's got to get it to the ground. And Adesanya showed that he struggles with strong grapplers, but it's hard to get him to the ground. He had to go up to 205 to have somebody really out wrestle him. So nobody's been able to out wrestle him at 185 yet. So, that's 20 pounds. That's a big difference.
Yeah. I mean, do
I
we
think
really think
Adesanya,
Vettori is that good of a grappler?
he is pretty good grappling. I would give him some
But
good grappling with some good ground and pound, but nothing that's
yeah,
better than
exactly.
Ronald.
Exactly
So
my
I
point
I
is
think
he's not
Adesanya
the
is going
top
to
of
be
the
able.
heap.
Yeah, I think Adesanya is going to be able to control everything on the feet, and he's really motivated to put him away this time. I think he really wants to make a statement. So I think when a fighter's in that kind of mentality, he's going out there with some bad intentions, and he's gonna put some hurting on this dude.
If the press conference
So
showed us anything,
I got Adesanya by KO.
nice. If the press conference showed us anything, it's that these two dudes do not like each other,
No.
and they both have high school level insults.
Yes.
Because that was not even that fun to watch. I know a lot of people get a kick out of it, but man, kind of lame.
Yeah.
Like,
Not impressed by their performance.
yeah, like that was better. So, yeah, I just think that there's levels to the game, and Adesanya's on a different one than Vettori. I think that he's going to go out there and just kind of pick them apart. I think Adesanya is going to get the TKO, just go around. But don't be surprised if it plays out exactly the way that it played out last time. I have that gut feeling, and I should go with it, but I'm going to go with the TKO because it sounds cooler.
So, who do you got for submission of the night?
Submission of the night, I think I'm going to have to take Bear Juice.
Nice. I'm going to take Damian Maia.
Mm-hmm. So hard not to pick Damian Maia for submission of the night, though. Always has a chance.
And then who do you got for knockout of the night?
The knockout of the night. Man, there's three really strong options right there. With Leon, I think I'm gonna have to go with Figueroa. If there's gonna be a knockout of the night, I feel it's gonna be Figueroa.
I feel like the last three fights are gonna be TKO. So
Yeah.
So I'm just trying to figure out which one's gonna be the best. And I think Izzy can probably do something in style that can really set it over the top and get that knockout of the night.
Like really, like just like
Just
step
some
forward
flashy
and land that
combos,
spinning wheel kick, and just clip them and
and
then
then just
swarm
finish
them
him
against
off.
the cage. Yep, that'd be good. Dude, what if Izzy just goes out there and just out wrestles him?
And then we got fight of the night.
Fight of the night. Oh, man. I think Leon Edwards versus Nate Diaz.
Yeah, that's my pick
It's
too.
either that one. Okay, if you're going that one, then I'm gonna have to go with the main event, Adesanya versus Tori. I think that one's gonna be a scrap. That one's gonna be like Nate Diaz said at the press conference. It's like, man, this is gonna be good. I'm just enjoying this. Like these guys really don't like each other. Like this is a real fight, and I love it. I know exactly how you feel because that's how I feel. This is gonna be a scrap, and so let's see. That's our predictions there for UFC 263 right there. Pretty solid ones, I feel. Go ahead, hit your DraftKings, I guess. Whatever you got to do. But it's gonna be an exciting night of fighting. Hopefully, a long night of fight tomorrow.
Scheduled to be.
Yep. So, any closing comments you got here before we wrap this thing up?
Tune in and get ready for some good fights this weekend.
Oh yeah, because I'm ready. But all right, everybody. Thank you for tuning in to the MMA Coach's Corner. The fighter and the coach. We out.